Today's episode is not gossip, not entertainment. It is a deep cultural conversation that touches the heart of our future. I want you to imagine this. A girl who still wakes up with school books under her pillow. A young girl who dreams of becoming a nurse or a designer or a business leader. And suddenly, everything changes. Her childhood becomes a memory. This is not a story from a distant past. It happened recently in our own land, in Amufie, in Ezike. But this episode is not about blame or anger. It is about understanding, healing, and rebuilding our future. Let us start with the truth. Igbo culture never encouraged giving our children away in marriage. Yes, you heard that right. Traditional marriage in Igbo land, even from the days of antiquity, Ịgba nkwụ, ime ego, ịkwụ aka, was a sacred agreement between two lineages, between two families, for the marriage between their two adult children. Even in days when we do ịnụ nwaanyị at a young age, she is never led to her husband's house at that young age. Betrothal was done for young girls and they remained in their father's house until their age of adulthood. Child marriage was never an option. Marriage was a sacred agreement between two families. That is how it was in Igbo land. It honored maturity, readiness, and the dignity of the bride. All these were put into consideration. In the times of our ancestors, all these were respected. Families often joined to support the new home. The bride had a voice. The community protected her. The distortion began when poverty, desperation, and outside influence entered. Suddenly, marriage became a quick solution, not an expression of culture, but a strategy for survival for some parents. That is not Igbo tradition. That is pain masquerading itself as culture. It was never Igbo culture to give our children who are not yet ripe into marriage. When a young girl is taken away from her education, her voice, and her dreams, there are consequences far beyond the wedding day. There are far-reaching consequences. Let's look at the real outcomes, not opinions. 1. She loses her education. A girl who leaves school rarely ever returns. Her opportunities shrink before her life even begins. 2. Financial dependence. Instead of escaping poverty, the cycle continues. One family trades hunger for another form of hardship. 3. Emotional harm. A young mind is still developing. Responsibility meant for adults becomes a weight she never asked for. These effects do not stay with one person, they follow families for generations. Poverty is thus recycled from generation to generation. Let me share a true cultural example, not from Enugu Ezike this time, but from another Igbo community. A family struggled with school fees. The parents loved their daughter, but they believed she was a doorway to a better future for them. A man offered financial help. He promised comfort, stability, and opportunities. The girl was taken from school. She did not know how to negotiate a household. She did not understand responsibility. She still wanted her mother. She woke at night crying quietly, so no one would hear. So every night she cried. Within 2 years, she became a young mother with no education, no financial freedom, and no voice. Her parents did not feel relieved at all. They felt nothing but regret. What the family thought was a solution became the thing that trapped them even in deeper poverty and regret. The Igbo people are people of great industry. We are industrious people who believe in Onyekwe, Chiyekwe. We have the Igbo apprenticeship system that supports the girl child and the boy child. People talk of one boy, I usually talk of one girl. The girl that can learn sewing, the girl that can learn fashion and design, the girl that can learn baking, the girl that can learn to cook, the girl that can learn all manner of skills, how to make hair, from their fellow young girls and women, graduate and open up their own stores, and their businesses begin to thrive. No one looks into that. When we walk, our destiny walks with us. That is just the principle of Onyekwe Chiyekwe. The Igbo spirit has never and will never be about shortcuts. It is about resilience. The Igbo spirit is about resilience. Think about great Igbo mothers and aunties that we know today. The seamstress, like I described, who trains tens of thousands of apprentices all through her life. The trader who started with a small mat and later began to build a mini mat and chain stores. The teacher who sent her brothers and cousins to school. The woman who becomes a business leader across Africa. These women were not rushed into adulthood. Their communities invested in them just like they would invest in the male child, and they became great and their destiny worked out. If you invest in a young girl's education, you uplift generations. If you rush her into adulthood, you silence potentials. Yes, I know times are hard. Many families struggle with school fees, with health care, with survival, especially in this very inconsiderate and wicked government. But please listen. Trading your daughter's future to solve today's problems only creates new problems tomorrow. There are other paths to follow, and we must explore those options before sending our girl child or children into early marriage. You can send her into skill training. She can go and learn skill. By skill training, you give your daughter the opportunity to acquire skill and become self-sufficient. There are community support systems that you can also explore to raise money for your daughter's education. We have youth programs, trade apprenticeships, like the one girl system that I talked about that you can also explore. And you can also seek scholarship from community development associations. The extended family network in Igbo land has always helped as well, where people wait for the older person to go to school while the younger ones contribute to raise resources, work in farms for the older members of the family to get education. We are Ndi Igbo. We lift others. Speak to elders. Speak to teachers. Speak to community leaders. Ask for help. Ask for help. You are a human being. You cannot have it all. We all need one another. Ask for help and help will come. Let us protect our daughters. Let us treat them as dreamers, not lifelines. Let us raise them into women who will change our future as Ndi Igbo. Not as items that we can trade off to solve our own personal problems. Because the greatness of Ndi Igbo is not in what we take from our daughters, but in what we allow them to become. Thank you for watching today's episode. If this conversation touched you, share it with someone and drop your comments in the comment section. Let us know what you think. Do you think it is right for people to give up their daughter in early marriage just to escape poverty? Let us know what you feel in the comment section. And if this is your first time of seeing our videos, kindly subscribe to our channel. See you in our next video. Bye.